Alright everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started. First off, just want to welcome everybody to our very first inaugural race of our Bender Designs UMP Modifieds. Week 1 here, as you can see, is going to be ran at Eldora. We're currently waiting for our qualifying session to end, so we'll get a chance to see where everybody's going to qualify with the standings board up here on the left. This is going to be the first race of a 12-week season. 8 weeks will be the regular season, and the last 4 weeks will invoke the playoffs. You can check out the Discord for the rules package on that as well. Tonight's format is going to be 2 or 3 sets of heat racing. I think it'll be 2 sets of heat racing since we only have, I believe, 15 entries tonight. And everybody will make the feature, so we'll do a 3-minute warm-up and go straight into the feature. It is going to be a 40-lap feature, so a little bit more than the sprint cars we did last night. These modifieds can take a lot more fuel, you can go a lot more laps, nothing you really have to worry about there compared to the sprint cars. So we'll go ahead and wait about 60 seconds or so, and we'll take a look at where everybody's qualifying and see who's going to start on the pole here. Alright, I think I ended up messing up the view. Looks like we're only able to view one car. I hate how they do the new qualifying sessions, unfortunately. Here we go. Yeah, it looks like we're just waiting on the tail end for everybody to end, so we'll go ahead and go over the qualifying standings as of right now. Looks like your pole sitter is going to be the 65 car, James Murphy, with a 15.96 second lap time. Second place, about a tenth of a second behind him, is going to be Drew Junkman. Third place is going to be held by Bo Stenzel. Coming in fourth is going to be Colton Zimmer. And rounding out your top 5 is going to be Landon Rogers. Sixth place car is going to be Lane Riley. Coming in that 7th place spot is going to be Levi Wilkerson. And I think that is Colton Zimmer there that just took the 2nd place spot away from Drew Junkman. He is only about 8/100ths of a second behind James Murphy in that 65 machine in that 1st place spot. Ty Williams is going to be in that 8th position as we go down the list. Dalton Bragg, I believe one of his teammates, is going to be holding 9th. And Charles New the third is going to round out your top 10. It looks like he is about 6/10ths of a second behind our leader as he just jumped up to 8th and cycled Ty and Dalton down 2 spots. 11th through 15th is going to be held by Chase Keith, Samuel Stevenson, Dylan Patterson, Christopher Hibbs, and Toby Kirk. I tell you what, Gio, if I'd have made that bet with you for $35,000 on Toby Kirk to not win this race, I think I might have been sitting pretty, but he might shock us all from coming from last and coming in and getting a win here. M. Anderson, yeah, I would say by our previous chats, we might have a gambling problem around here, unfortunately. Judging by what we were talking about, we always start out at the roulette table, and I always say you put money on black. He says you put money on red. It's kind of see how you guys like to do it, but I think that's an L driver move, and to not put money on black. So as we sit here and wait for this qualifying session to finish up, it looks like it just did, as I can see the race control admin's names at the bottom of the screen. We're going to be taking 15 drivers into tonight's event. I believe it will split it up between 2 heats with, I believe that'll be 8 and 7 in each heat. We'll wait for everybody to get lined up here and we'll go over our starting few. Alrighty, as always, the overlays and everything we use is provided for free by simracingapps.com. Pretty easy setup to use, but the one downside to the free stuff, it's not always as cool as the rest of all the other overlays you see. We will not see the standings board update until they complete one lap, so I'll go ahead and go over the starting few cars as I see them right here. It looks like that very first place car is going to be the 65 machine of James Murphy. In second place, I believe that is going to be controlled by the number 20 car of Colton Zimmer. Third place is going to be the 12 car of, I believe that is Landon Rogers. Fourth place is going to be controlled by the number 3 car of Levi Wilkerson. Fifth place is going to be driven by the 27 car, I believe that is, of Ty Williams. Sixth place is going to be driven by the 9 car of Chase Keith. The last row inside is going to be Dylan Patterson in the 000. And our $35,000 bet to win driver, Toby Kirk, is going to be last row outside. That is going to be our starting field for the first heat. For our heats, it is only going to be 8 laps tonight. This is going to determine our starting positions for the feature. Like I said, the feature is going to be 40 laps, so a lot of time to really make up some short time here to get a good position to have a long race in the feature. And as you can see, we're going to go 1 to green this time by as our drivers are getting all lined up. James Murphy in that 65 machine is going to be the one leading down this time by. I believe it says that car is for sale, so if anybody's looking for a modified, that's a free car. Or not a free car, but a car for sale, and he's already got it in first. That's pretty good advertising if I've ever heard it. James Murphy's going to lead him into turn 1, taking that outside row. He's got some good speed. He's going to lead him into turn 3. I believe he's going to be your leader after lap 1. Colton Zimmer is going to hold on to your second spot as you see him on the outside in that 20 machine with Landon Rogers holding in third. Levi Wilkerson is going to be in that 4th place spot holding the outside line with Ty Williams trying to make something happen. That 25 car in 5th place. 6th place is going to be held by Chase Keith with Dylan Patterson in 7th and Toby Kirk in 8th. As we got a cockpit view here of James Murphy, kind of see what he's dealing with now. Very smooth, very clean car as he holds that outside line. He's got about 0.6 of a second ahead of Colton Zimmer in that number 20 car, as you can see behind him. I don't know if he's going to be able to really make anything happen. I think he's going to be able to hold a consistent 1-2 James Murphy, Colton Zimmer. Let's take a look at the number 12 machine of Landon Rogers. He's got Ty Williams all over his rear view mirror if these cars actually had rear view mirrors. The number 3 car, Levi Wilkerson, starting to make something happen right behind Ty on that inside line. He's going to try to throw the slider here as we're halfway through the first heat. Looks like after we've got about halfway through, everybody's starting to space out. Let's go ahead and check out some of the positions we got here. We still got James Murphy in the 65 car holding first place with the 20 car of Colton Zimmer in second. Third place is going to be held by Landon Rogers with the 27 of Ty Williams coming on his back under in fourth. But we got Colton Zimmer. He's into the wall. Landon Rogers is going to try to go under him with Ty Williams holding that outside line. Second through fourth just got a whole lot closer. Landon Rogers is trying to take the low line, but he opened the door for Ty Williams. They touch. He's loose. He's ended up holding it. They're going to end up getting through that turn in turn 4. And it looks like Colton Zimmer second, Ty Williams third, Landon Rogers fourth, Levi Wilkerson fifth as we go white flag right now. I don't think there's going to be much position changes here. Same thing as start to finish. James Murphy is going to lead Heat 1. Colton Zimmer is going to finish second. Ty Williams is going to move up to third. Landon Rogers will be your 4th place car. Levi Wilkerson in 5th. Dylan Patterson in 6th. And Toby Kirk in 7th. Chad, I agree with you. I love the Cinderella story. I think Toby's, fooling with us a little bit. He was in his recruitment race, if I remember, he kind of hung out toward the back. And on the last 5 laps, I think he debatably made a hard charger type of run, ended up getting a top 5. So I'm still pulling for him. I think he's going to be able to do something. But I'll tell you what, chat, who do you think's going to win this next heat? Go ahead and give me your thoughts here in a second. I'm going to go over everybody in it real quick. Go ahead and tell me who you think's going to win. There we go. So from what I can see here, it looks like the pole sitter of Heat 2 is going to be the 16 car of Drew Junkman. Second place is going to be held by the 11 car of Bo Stenzel. Third place is going to be the 68 car of Lane Riley. Fourth place is going to be the number 8 car of Charles New the third. Fifth place is going to be held by Dalton Bragg. Sixth place is going to be the 77 car of Samuel Stevenson. And I missed that last car. I apologize. You pulling out number 25. Where are you at? Number 25 is going to be held by Christopher Hibbs. As they're pulling around the 1 to green this time by, let's go ahead and get pulled up on our leader, Drew Junkman, as he takes him around turn 3 now. I tell you what, guys, like I said, who do you guys think is going to win this race? I personally think it's going to be the 11 car. I think Bo's going to make something happen here, but we'll see what he can do. And here we go. As you see our leader here, as we're taking a look at from the right front car, right front tire, he's taking it into turn 1. He's going to take that outside line. Drew Junkman's going to lead him through 1 and 2. Bo Stenzel is on his back bumper though, but you got the number 68 of Lane Riley as well. He's really trying to make a move back there. Fourth place is going to be held by Charles New III with Dalton Bragg, and rounding out your top 5. Drew Junkman's going to hold that consistent line on the top, and I don't know if there's going to be much bottom side racing, to be honest with you. I feel like everything's been in the middle and the top. It's been kind of a 1 to 2 lane racetrack. Bo Stenzel's in the wall a little bit. It's going to open the door for third place to slip in there. Lane Riley is trying to make something happen. I don't know if he's going to be able to. Drew Junkman's still going to be your leader in the third lap. Crazy the night and day difference in cars. Drew Junkman was a car that I watched pretty consistently, kind of that 5th, 6th place spot the whole time in sprints last night. Very good, very consistent. Put him in a modified, and he is pretty much making easy work of this heat right now. Him and Bo are really trying to make something happen. But besides those two, they're about a second ahead of the rest of the field. They're kind of in their own little class at the moment. Lane Riley's trying to see what he can do to run him down. Charles New III is trying to do what he can to hold off Dalton Bragg. Let's go ahead and take a look at this battle back here. Dalton Bragg seems to have stilted up a little bit as he holds that outside line, rounding out the top 5 as we got 3 laps to go. And I don't know if my pick, Bo Stenzel, is going to be able to make it happen. We got 2 laps to go. He's about a half second behind our leader, Drew Junkman. I don't think his car's junk in any way tonight, I'll tell you that. He's holding that outside line. He's in the wall, though. Bo's coming around the inside line. I talked too quick. I gave up on Bo too quick. We're coming to the white flag. Bo's 0.2 of a second behind. Can he make it happen? I just realized we still had the practice thing up. I apologize. Oh my gosh. Let's take that off for you guys. Drew Junkman's coming around this time by. He's taking the low line to prevent the slider. I don't think Bo's going to be able to do it as we got the cockpit cam. He takes the heat too. Man, nobody in chat told me I still had the live practice thing up, guys. Oh my gosh. I know I'm still a new broadcaster, but holy crap. I apologize about that. Well, that's going to be it for our heats, I believe, for tonight. We're going to go ahead and get lined up for a warm-up. We always do a 3-minute warm-up, runs the track in a little bit, and gives us a chance to go over our top standings. For tonight's race, here is going to be the starting lineup for the feature. Your pole setter is going to be held by James Murphy. Second place is going to be the Drew Junkman machine, the number 16 car. Third place is going to be held by the 20 car of Colton Zimmer. Fourth place will be held by the 11 car of Bo Stenzel. Fifth place, round out the top 5, will be held by Ty Williams. Third row outside will be held by Lane Riley. Seventh place will be the Landon Rogers. Eighth place will be Charles New the third. Ninth place will be Levi Wilkerson. And rounding out your top 10 is going to be Dalton Bragg. I unfortunately didn't have a chance to see the rest of that. Let me see if I can kind of sneak back real quick. Nope, it's going live already with the people scoring. Nope, it is what it is. Let me do it the easy way. 11th place is going to be held by the 000 of Dylan Patterson. 12th place is going to be held by the number 77 car of Samuel Stevenson. 13th place is going to be held by the number 7 car, $35,000 favorite, Toby Kirk. Number 14th place car is going to be the 25 machine of Christopher Hibbs. And starting in 15th is going to be the number 9 car of Chase Heath. 16th, 17th, and 18th are going to be myself as the broadcaster and our 2 race control admins as we go ahead and take a look at these cars in their warm-up session. Got about 75 seconds left in the warm-up. Go ahead and give me your guys' opinion on who you think's going to win as we watch Drew Junkman go ahead and get wrecked. I don't know if Colton Zimmer caused that, landed behind him, Bo Stenzel on the inside. That was a lot of something. Also, for everybody in here, we do appreciate everybody just hanging out, viewing the chat. If you do like what you see, go ahead and throw us a like or a subscribe down at the bottom. It is free. I would never ask anybody to pay for anything. This economy sucks. It's horrible. But we do appreciate all the support. If you think we can do something better, go ahead and throw something in the comments, throw something in the chats. Anything we can do to improve it, just let us know. And like I said, if anybody has an opinion on who you think's going to win, go ahead and give me your opinion. I know the Toby Kirk car is a big favorite from the chat so far, but I'm kind of curious where everybody else is sitting at. I still think Bo Stenzel, our sprint car champion, is going to be able to make something happen. 5-time winner, I believe, in the late models. I'm kind of curious what he can do in a modified in our inaugural race. But we have a lot of really good racers in here, so, you know, 15 drivers, any person can make it. You got 40 laps. There's probably going to be a couple cautions. I'm very excited to see how it turns out. Looks like we're going to go 1 to green out the pit this time by, like we were saying before, is going to be led by James Murphy. Outside pole is going to be held by Drew Junkman. 2 people that pretty much dominated their heats. I wonder which one's going to be able to make something happen. Bo Stenzel seemed like he was able to make a run, and Colton Zimmer wasn't far behind James as well. I don't know where they're going to match up in this as well. And like I said, you got 11 other cars behind them. A lot of things can happen. Cars bumping, cautions, lap cars. This is going to be a really interesting 40 laps of racing. I'm about as excited as everybody else in here. I wonder who's going to win though. I really, really do. Still pulling for Bo on this one. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it happen. He was my original pick. I'm going to stick with it. I'm not going to change it up. But I don't know. I don't know if he's going to make it happen. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know who you think's going to win it. As we're going to go ahead and watch James taking around this time by. He said, Rookie of the Year. Give him the trophy now. I tell you what, that back half better go ahead and get lined up here. And here they go. They're getting lined up right now. That pace car is getting ready to go in the pits. Here we go. We're going green flag racing this time by. James Murphy's going to lead him at the green flag, take him into turn 1. They are all bundled up. We're 4-5 wide going into turn 1. James Murphy's going to lead him out of that mess. They're able to hold it through right now. As I tell you what, let's take a look at Charles New. He's right in the middle of it. Ty Williams is going to be on his outside as you got James Murphy, Colton Zimmer, Bo Stenzel. We got the yellow flag this time by. I see the number 3 car, I believe, was involved in that. Man, that was 5 wide at one point, guys. I don't know how they made it through that turn. Let's go ahead and take a slow-mo view and kind of see what happened here. I think it happened before that because it kind of looks like his car's broke and he just straight lines into the wall. Oop, let me go back a little further. Looks like he just hops on to the 12 car, unfortunately, of Landon Rogers. Upon doing that, it almost looks like if you look at Landon Rogers, his left front is broke as well. I believe Levi Wilkerson's right front is what ended up breaking for him, which caused him to go into the inside wall. That's going to bring up our first caution of the night as we were 2 laps out of the 40 in. Let's go ahead and get caught back up with our leaders. With the modifieds, we are going to have the choose car out on the track. With that choose car, if I can go ahead and find him real quick. I don't believe he is out there yet. With that choose car, everybody's going to get a chance to choose whether they want the inside or the outside line. For example, if James Murphy here decides he wants to start outside pole, that is at his discretion. Start still on him, but he will have the ability to choose. Drew Junkman, if he decides to do that, can go outside as well and start behind him instead of inside pole. It's completely up to him. So on and so forth. We've only done this with the modified so far. It's worked out pretty good. As you can see, Max Bender, one of our race control, is coming out right now with that race control 3PG modified. And we go ahead and place that on the track as like a pretty much a designated mark when you have to decide if you want to go in the inside or the outside line, and you do got to hold it from there. So I do ask everybody to bear with us. Sim racing apps will not update when we do this until the first lap is done, so I'll call out the first 6 or 7 as I see it as we go ahead and do this. We did this in the recruitment races. The drivers loved it. They thought it was awesome, so we're going to go ahead and do it again. I thought it was pretty cool. At one point I watched 8 drivers in a row take the outside line, and someone went from 10th place to 3rd, and they ended up holding it up there. So it makes it real interesting. Looks like the cars are all going to get a chance to go around, and Max is going to get turned around right there, so everybody gets a chance to go around him. They're going to pull around the green flag, and I believe they're going to make their decisions this time. So let's go ahead. I like to take a view of Max here, and we'll see what everybody decides to pick. Starting out with James Murphy. Is he going inside or outside? James inside, Drew outside, Colton inside, Bo and Ty are outside, Dalton's inside, Charles is inside. As you can see, I couldn't even keep track with it, but most people picked outside compared to that inside line. I think it's going to be really interesting to see where everybody compares, where everybody's going to start out of that. You're going to have somebody in last place on the inside, a couple rows ahead of the people on the outside. So let's go ahead and take a look at our leaders here. I believe they're going to give them a second to get the 21 car off the track. They'll probably go one more lap before they go green flag racing. So we'll probably go 1 to green this time by. We do appreciate you, Max, for bringing out the 3PG race control modified. Just like the 65 machine up there, that car is for sale as well. All proceeds will go to 3PG into the winnings fund for that. The current price for that is 69 cents. If you want to go ahead and get back with me on that or start bidding in the chat, we'll see what number that gets to. But as you can see, the race control truck is going to go ahead and take it in the pit lane. James Murphy is going to lead your feet around, and we're going to go ahead and go green flag racing. Here we go. James Murphy's going to lead your field going in the green flag, taking turn 1. Drew Junkman's going to take him in 3 wide in the middle, turn 1. Colton Zimmer's going to the far inside. James Murphy's going to lead him out of turn 1. Holy crap, Ty Williams getting into the outside wall as well, getting some contact, I believe, with Bo Stenzel. As James Murphy's going to go ahead and lead this field through the... we didn't even get a lap, I don't think. Thought James Murphy was going to go ahead and lead him. I see the 68 and the 27 machine. Let's go ahead and take a look at what happened here. Alright. Back a little further. Alright. Looks like we had some 3 wide racing. Bo Stenzel gets into Ty. It looks like, I believe that it's Landon Rogers that gets into the back of him as well. Causes Ty to get into the outside wall. Unfortunately, it gets into the number 9 at Chase Keith as well. I don't know if that's going to cause them some damage. Let's go ahead and take one more look at that real quick. Just not much you can do there. Just really good, hard racing across the board. We'll see how race control decides to score that incident. With both 2, 3, 4 cars ended up getting pretty well destroyed out of that. Let's go ahead and get caught up to our leaders, as we will see the same thing with our 3PG pace control car, I believe, getting ready to make his second appearance of the night. Huh. My audio seems to have went away. Oh, here we go. I was still on the slow-mo. I apologize. I was so confused. Sorry about that. So yeah, it looks like this will be the second appearance of the pace control car, the 3PG race control car, the choose vehicle driven by Max Bender tonight. I believe he is waiting a second, waiting to make that call on what happened to that caution before he comes out here. So we're going to be waiting a couple more laps before they get back going. Let's take a look at our Cinderella man. I know Toby Kirk has been the underdog of the chat, it looks like. Looks like he is sitting in that 12th place spot. 12th place spot. It's not about where you start, it's about where you finish. As you can see, there's a lot of people racing hard, which has caused a couple cautions here. So as long as he can make up a position here and there, I think he's going to be able to make something happen. Since they didn't technically get a lap in, I don't know if they are doing the choose car. Waiting to see what's going to happen here as we're coming around for, I believe, our 5th or 6th pace lap right now. I believe what they're doing is trying to score the incident. As I see, the 1 to green logo has been made at the top right of our screen. We're going to go 1 to green this time by. I believe since we didn't actually make a lap, we will not actually be doing the choose rule again. It's going to be the rule set specifically for third-party gaming here, as we watch James Murphy in that 65 machine, that for sale 65 machine modified. If anybody's looking for a modified, I believe that's the car I'd be hitting up right now. I believe his phone's going to be blowing up through the roof after this race as he's taking a green flag this time. And here we go, as James Murphy is going to lead him down the front stretch. Drew Junkman's going to be on that outside line, and Bo Stentz is going to see if he can make something happen on the inside. James Murphy's going to lead him out of turn 2. And that, to hold the horses right there, that's going to be Drew Junkman in that 16 machine. He's going to... He is not going to lead them around. Let's go ahead and take a look at what happened there. I see the Toby Kirk. Let's take a look at what happened to him. He slowed up toward the back there. Let's see what happened. Alright, let's take a blimp view. Go slow as we see Toby Kirk in the middle here. Looks like him and Ty Williams get into each other. I don't know if there's really much anybody can do. And unfortunately it looks like the 27 gets into the back of Toby, gets him spun, and that's what ended up causing that caution. I don't know how they're really going to fault that one, because let's take a look how it was the corner before. Ty Williams is holding clean on that outside line. I mean, they're going down and they come into each other. That's really, I don't know how they're going to call that one. I'm really pulling for Toby Kirk, though. Like I said, he's the man you guys are rooting for in chat. I want to see if he can pull it off. You know, you never know. It's anybody's race. You still got 36 laps of racing here at week 1 of Eldora in the Bender Designs UMP Modifieds. Like I said, for the choose car, I believe it's going to be the same incident here. We have still not completed a lap in the past 2 cautions, so we will not have to re-choose. Yeah, like you said, Wes, it is not about how you start, it is about how you finish, and, you know, if you know, hopefully he can do it. I believe in him. We'll see if he can end up getting a top 5 finish right now. I believe we have him scored in 9th. I don't know how accurate that is. Like I said, because of that caution that just came out, it'll update after the next lap, unfortunately. I had to get you with that, Wes. I apologize. You were set up too good. As I believe we're going to wait at least one more lap before we get the 1 to green call. Looks like race control is still sitting there trying to make the call. So we sit here 2 by 2 by 2. Nope, we're going 1 to green. I was about to say, they look way too clean to not let it go right now. James Murphy's still going to be your leader in that inside pole. Drew Junkman's going to be holding the outside front row. Bo Stenzel 3rd place. Colton Zimmer in 4th with Dylan Patterson rounding out your top 5 if that is scored correctly. Man, talk about making a comeback. As we're going green flag racing this time by, James Murphy's going to lead him out the front stretch. Drew Junkman on that outside, and Bo Stenzel's trying to make something happen on the inside. James Murphy's going to lead him out of 2. And like I said, that's it for a car for sale. I mean, how many times do you see a modified with a big for sale logo leading the pack? But I tell you what, I wish you could get a lap in, as we're going to have our 3rd consecutive yellow, I believe, before we can get a lap. It looks like it's the 25 machine that was held up back there. Let's take a look at what happened. Well, I tell you what, that tire was rolling to a new home. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Was there contact? I believe there was some. Yep, there was definitely some contact there between Toby Kirk and the 25 machine of Christopher Hibbs. Not sure how they're going to score that. I'm a broadcaster, not a race control guy. It's much better that way. But let's go ahead and take a blimp view real quick, and we'll get everybody's opinion in chat what you think happened here. Go to a far chase, actually. There we go. They almost look good there, and then unfortunately a little bit of contact at the end there. The front tires there is really what makes this all go bad. And then Christopher Hibbs meets his maker with that outside wall. Let's go ahead and get caught back up with our leaders real quick. I swear, guys, we will see that choose car again. We will get a lap done. I believe in them. Unfortunately, I think it's a lot of guys just really trying to race hard, and you know, when you've got a lot of great talent and a lot of people trying to race hard, there's going to be some cautions. Things are going to happen. For anybody wondering how our caution rules work, you do get one fast repair. After that, we usually will run for a set amount of cautions. I believe Eldora, it's set for either 4 or 5 pace laps after each caution. Reason for that is to give race control a second to view everything, give us on the broadcast a chance to review the caution as well, and for the choose car, if we can actually get a lap in to use the choose car. Eventually there will be a point that we'll go to single file restarts if we can't get at least a lap in here in the next start or two, I believe. I don't know if they're going to do that this time or here in the next couple laps as we sit here and wait, and I believe they're going to go 1 to green next time by. James Murphy, though, like I was trying to say, having a for sale sign on your car and leading the race is some of the best advertising you could ever do. If you're really looking for a modified, that would be the guy I would hit up there. Second place is still going to be held by Drew Junkman. The number 11 car of Bo Stenzel is going to be in 3rd. Colton Zimmer in the 20 machine is going to be sitting in 4th place. And rounding out your top 5 is going to be Dylan Patterson in the 000. Behind him is going to be the number 8 car of Charles New the 3rd. 7th place is going to be held by Dalton Bragg. The 8th place is going to be held by the 77 machine of Samuel Stevenson. 9th is going to be held by number 3, Levi Wilkerson. And 10th is going to be the number 12 machine of Landon Rogers. But let's go ahead and take it back to our leader here, number 65 of James Murphy, as he takes us to the green flag coming out of 4. Here they go. We got a cockpit view of James Murphy. We're going to go ahead and see what he sees as he takes them into turn 1 into the green flag this time by 6 laps of 40. Let's go ahead and see if we can get a good green flag racing. Drew Junkman's going to be right there on the outside line, bumper to bumper right behind him. Bo Stenzel and Colton Zimmer battling it out for 3rd with Colton's Dylan Patterson in 5th place. Charles New's going to round out 6th for you, and Dalton's going to still hold that 7th place spot as we finally get a lap in, boys. It happened. We finally got a lap. I don't care what happens from this point forward. I'm just so proud of him. We get to see that chase car or choose car again if something happens. James Murphy, though, is still going to be your consistent leader as he goes ahead and takes him around a couple laps in. Drew Junkman, though, is going to see if he can can make something happen as we got an aerial view. Crossover move made by James Murphy. He's going to take the lead right back on the backstretch, coming in on the inside. Bo Stenzel's going to open the door for him as we got the yellow flag. I see Samuel Stevenson back there got locked up. I don't know what happened. Let's take a look. Alright, we'll go ahead and slow-mo it from here, see what happened. Looks like Samuel Stevenson is trying to take the inside line, and I think he had a date with the inside wall. Kind of looks like a rekindling moment of Dylan Patterson in the sprint car last night. Let's go ahead and take a far chase view, get a good angle here. Yeah, it's just an unfortunate thing. You can't park it there. You can't put the car there. When you do that, you're going to destroy it. Looks like Ty Williams on the outside took some damage out of that as well. Samuel Stevenson's left front is pretty much destroyed. Steering that back to the pits is going to be pretty difficult for him. Hopefully he's able to make it back, get that car repaired, and get back on the track. So we'll go ahead and get caught back up with our leader, James Murphy, as we get ready to go around. And I believe we're actually going to see the choose car again. We get to see the choose car as we get up here with race control, Max Bender. We're going to see that 3PG Bender Designs Troy's Auto Detailing race control choose car. Like I said, same rules as last time. Leader on back is going to get their chance to choose. Do they want the inside or outside line? This is really a big factor, especially, you know, comparing it now to how people are going to do this at the end of the race. You're going to really notice one line, whether it's inside or outside, get taken a lot more than the other. Which way is it going to go? I am not sure, and we're going to find out together. Start time for tomorrow's race is going to be 10 p.m. Eastern, just like tonight. The only difference is since I'm the one doing race control, broadcast will not be done by, it'll either be no broadcast or it will be done by a different source. But we'll go ahead, we see the cars coming around right now. Let's see who's going to take the inside or outside. Inside by James, outside Drew, outside Bo, inside Coulter, outside Charles, outside, I can't even keep track no more. But I think the outside row was definitely taking a lot more than the inside as we go ahead and get turned around with Max Bender and that 3PG race control car. I'll tell you what, we've brought this thing in a couple hosted races, and it's pretty cool seeing a little race control official car get wins, you know, here and there. It's pretty interesting. Let's go ahead and get lined back up with our leader. Alrighty, get a good view here. Like I said, we are going 1 to green this time by. James Murphy is still going to be your leader. Drew Junkman's giving him everything he can in that second place spot. Bo Stenzel and Colton Zimmer are holding their respective spots in 3rd and 4th, with Charles New to 3rd, rounding out your top 5. I've watched 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. I feel like completely cycle through about 4 times in the past 3 laps. As we go green flag racing now, let's go ahead and watch James Murphy take him down. Drew Junkman, though, throws the slider. I think he's got the run right there. I think he's going to be able to make it happen. He's got that outside run. He's going to get the pass. James Murphy gets a little loose. He went from 1st and 3rd in that first lap. Drew Junkman is going to lead him after the caution. Bo Stenzel is on his bumper in 2nd. James Murphy 3rd. Colton Zimmer 4th. Let's go to your new leader, Drew Junkman. And I tell you what, I don't know what speed they found. It's that same speed they had racing each other in the second heat, but it is here. I don't know what just happened, but it seems like our cars just shot out like a rocket ship. They really found something on that outside line. We got 3 wide racing going on in the middle of the track behind them. Let's go ahead and take a closer look what's happening a little further back. Got Landon Rogers on the inside at Levi Wilkerson, Chase Keith on the inside at Dylan Patterson, getting into the inside at Charles New to 3rd behind him in that number 8 machine as they're going into turn 1 this time by. 12 laps of 40 done. Drew Junkman is still going to be your leader as he leads them back through. We take another view of him coming out of 4, coming to the front stretch right now. I tell you what, it don't get much better for Drew and Bo right now. They are just two cars locked in. James Murphy's trying to do what he can to make it up behind him. I don't know if he burnt tires or what, but Colton Zimmer's starting to get around him now. I think he's going to be a factor as well. James Murphy's not going to let him up with nothing. Levi Wilkerson in that 3 car is going to be holding up that 5th spot with Landon Rogers behind him in 6. I don't know what they're going to be able to do to catch up as well. It's almost like you got 2 groups of 2 kind of going in together between Bo and Drew, James and Colton, and Levi, and pretty much kind of in his own space by himself. You got Landon and Chase. Chase Keith in that number 9 car really starting to make up some traction right now. He's been toward the back of the pack this whole race, but he's really starting to make it up and make it through. This is a guy that won, I think, 2 of our recruitment races, 2 or 3 of our recruitment races. So there's a lot of speed behind that number 9 machine as well. Just really hasn't had a chance to make anything happen. As we see him take that inside line, he's going to make a pass right here of the number 12 car, Landon Rogers, but he's going to cross over and take the position right back. He's going to have to wait another lap to make that happen. Looks like a car. I don't know if he's coming out of the pits. The number 20 of Colton Zimmer got a little bit loose. Let's go ahead and go back real quick. Take a look at that. We'll go ahead and go back to live racing in just a second. Looks like James Murphy and Colton Zimmer got into each other, but they were able to save it. Let's go ahead and get caught back up to our leaders right now. I do apologize about that. I wanted to go ahead and see what specifically happened there. Let's get caught back up with our leader, Drew Junkman. That is huge. That is 2 of the fastest cars on the track. Colton Zimmer and James Murphy getting into each other going into turn 1. They were able to save it, which was impressive in itself. But, I mean, you're talking about 2 of the fastest cars on the track. James Murphy dropping back to 4th and Colton Zimmer dropping back to 5th. I know that's not too much, but we're talking 3.5 seconds behind. If we don't get another caution here, that is a lot of time for Drew Junkman. Bo Stenzel's sitting about 0.6 of a second behind him. I don't know if he's just waiting. I don't know if he's going to have time to make it up. But Drew Junkman has really got it figured out in that 16 machine right now. We are halfway through the feature finally. Let's go ahead and go through your standings. 16 of Drew Junkman is going to be your leader. Bo Stendel will be that 2nd place car. Levi Wilkerson is going to be 3rd. James Murphy will be in 4th place. 5th place will be held by Colton Zimmer. 6th will be Landon Rogers. 7th place is going to be the 9 car of Chase Keith. 8th will be the 000 of Dylan Patterson. 9th is going to be held by Lane Riley, and 10th place is going to be held by Christopher Hibbs. Looks like 7th place is going to be held by Samuel Stevenson, and it looks like Charles New to 3rd and 12th, and Dalton and 13th are both going to be in the pits. Ty Williams as well is going to be in the pits in 14th, and it looks like in 15th, our $35,000 hopeful Toby Kirk is in the pits as well. As Drew Junkman gets in the wall a little bit, opens the door for Bo Stenzel. I don't know if he's going to be able to make something happen, as we're going to go ahead and take an aerial view, see what they can see. Let's take a look at what Bo has in front of him right now as we get a cockpit view of him specifically. He's really trying to see what he can. Oh, he gets loose. I don't know if he got into the brakes, got into the wall, what specifically it was. We almost jinxed him getting in his cockpit. I don't know if we made him nervous or what it was, but all that time he just made up on Drew. He just lost it completely. He's got 15 laps to go to see if he can make it back. But other than Drew Junkman and Bo Stenzel here, we have a huge gap to go into 3rd. James Murphy and Levi Wilkerson, let's take a view of them right now, are going to be battling out for 3rd place. But as you can see the gap right there, they're already coming out of turn 4 going to the front stretch, Drew and Bo. That's a huge time gap to make up depending who wins this fight here. And the longer these 2 fight for 3rd, the further away these guys are going to get. And not to mention there, Colton Zimmer in that 20 machine, I think he's going to be able to catch up further and further and further the longer these guys go. So the yellow flag is out this time. I'm not really entirely sure what happened there. I see the 12 car and the 77's a little further back. Oh, chasing the 9. Looks like he got spun around. Let's go ahead and get a blimp view here. So it looks like the number 9 car, Chase Keith, and the number 12 car, Landon Rogers, get together on the front stretch, coming around into turn 1. In doing so, Landon gets Chase spun around. Chase gets into the outside wall, and that's what's going to end up causing our caution, unfortunately. I tell you what, after a nice little 20-lap run, everybody was starting to get a little spread out. Everybody had their nice little zone. Drew and Bo were in the front there. You had James and Levi in their own little section battling it out as well, with Colton and Dylan really starting to see what they can do from 5th and 6th. But now we're bringing everybody back together. You kind of see where everybody stacks speed-wise. We're going to see where everybody's going to try to gain as many positions as they can. Can we get ahead of Drew and Bo right off the rip? Can we slow them down and make anything interesting? That's exactly what Levi Wilkerson and James Murphy's thinking right now. As we sit here, 14 laps to go of our 40-lap feature for week 1 of the Bender Designs UMP Modifieds. We are an hour into our stream. Everybody who is still here, I do appreciate it. I know we have a few more cautions than we expect to, but you know, it makes for good hard racing across the board. And honestly, compared to what we were dealing with last year, this is a night and day. Literal night and day difference, so much better than what we were expected to deal with previously. As we're going to wait here, I believe our choose car is out here right now. He is sitting there on the inside. Let's go ahead and get a view of him. He is just waiting one lap, gives everybody a chance to see him, that he's about to pull onto the front stretch. I believe he's about to pull up right now, and everybody's going to have a chance to choose whether they want to go to the inside or outside for this next restart. He's used to asphalt cars, you know. Dirt's a little harder for Max to get going. So what are we going to have? Drew Junkman is going to be our new leader, taking the first decision for the choose car. Is he going inside or out? He's going in. Bo's out. James is out. Levi's in. Colton's out. Dylan's out. Dalton, everybody's outside. That double chase to go inside with Dalton behind him. See where a choose car becomes interesting? Out of nowhere, a car like Chase Heath, the number 9, who I believe was in 12, or probably about 10th or 11th, I believe just technically jumped up to like 5th or 7th because nobody was picking the inside. Let's go ahead and get caught back up with our leader as we'll get ready to go on the green. Again, for anybody wondering, as you can see, Sim Racing Apps is the overlays we use. I just want to thank those guys. They give free overlays for everybody to use. In no way is this an ad for them. I just appreciate myself having the ability to broadcast for everybody. Want to go ahead and have an opportunity to broadcast, and they give me the chance to do it, so I appreciate those guys. But as we can see, we got Drew Junkman in the 16 machine. He's going to lead him around turn 3 and take him to the green flag this time by. And here we go. Drew Junkman's going to lead him on the front stretch inside. Bo Stenzel's going to take him on the outside line in second place. Drew Junkman's going to take him on the outside. I apologize. I said that wrong. I kind of fumbled myself on the own choose car. As we can see, Levi Wilkerson's getting into the outside. That's James Murphy back there. They're able to make it through, but I tell you what, that was looking like a wreck in the making. As we got some 2 and 3 wide racing coming out of 4. Drew Junkman's still going to be your leader, though, with 12 laps to go. Bo Stenzel's going to be right on this bumper. Colton Zimmer in 3rd. James Murphy's going to be your 4th place car. Levi Wilkerson rounding out your top 5. I tell you what, though, it's becoming a top lane track, middle to top lane. I see a lot of people trying to make that inside line work, but as you notice, the top 5 to 6 drivers are not leaving that outside. As soon as you leave that outside momentum, you are done for, you are gone. So they got to do what they can to make up some speed. James Murphy's going to try to throw that slider, but it's going to open the door for Colton Zimmer to throw the crossover. He's not going to get it. Colton Zimmer is going to lead that lap, 3rd place for him. James Murphy in 4th as we tune it back to our leader, Drew Junkman. I don't think he's going to be able to do much here. Drew Junkman has been strong. 10 laps to go this time by. He's got a very strong lead over the number 11 car of Bo Stenzel. He's about half a second ahead of him, but it's still a 2-car battle between those two. And just like it was before, 3rd and 4th is a 2-car battle. This time, instead of James Murphy and Levi Wilkerson, it is James Murphy and Colton Zimmer. Substitute one for the other, and we got our, I believe, 7th or 8th yellow flag of the night. Let me go ahead and pull it back. I believe that is Levi Wilkerson. Let's go ahead and take a look what happened. So I believe that's what it was right there. I'll go ahead and slow it up. It looks like the 000 car of Dylan Patterson gets into the outside wall. Let me pause it real quick. What are they doing? Blimp, blimp, blimp. There we go. Dylan Patterson gets into the outside wall, causes him to dive down. Levi Wilkerson, it looks like he's following his line and just didn't have anywhere to go. So we'll see how Race Control stores that one. I don't know if anything on his car was broke, so lucky for him on that one. As we'll get ready to go around, and I believe that's going to be another opportunity to see our number 21 Race Control 3PG choose car. Let's go ahead and take a look at this machine here. It don't get much better than this. As you can see, very, very hard work here made by our Bender Designs team. It would be a nice little 3PG logo as our number, but I guess when we set the session up, we didn't disable our numbers. You know, we're still learning every day. It is what it is. But as we wait for him to go ahead and get pulled around on the front stretch, like I said, who do you guys think's going to win this race? We got 8 laps to go. I said Bo Stenzel in Heat 2, and damn it, I'm riding it. I think he's going to still do it. I'm still sitting on my decision. We'll see if he can make it happen this time by. While we wait for them to come around, just a reminder of tonight, or the remaining events 3PG has this week. We did our 360 sprints yesterday. We always do those on Tuesdays. Today for Wednesdays, Jesus, I can't talk. As always, we do the Bender Designs UMP Modifieds. And on Thursdays at 10 p.m. Eastern, we do the Third Party Gaming Pro Late Models. We'll be doing the same exact time frame as this, as we're going to watch Drew take the inside, Bo outside, Colton inside, James outside, and as you can see him fall from there, Chase for a minute. Let's back that up real quick. Man, there we go. Talk about a late decision by Chase Keith taking that inside. I don't know if Landon Rogers was going to take the inside, but he didn't have much of a choice after that, I tell you what. And I love that choose car. It really makes everything interesting. And you know, some people are faster on the inside and they get screwed by the outside, and the same vice versa. So it gives everybody nice equal footing, a nice equal chance. So we're going to get ready and go 1 to green this time by. Drew Junkman's going to be your inside pole sitter. Bo Senzel on the outside pole. Colton Zimmer inside second row. James Murphy outside second row. And who is that? Is that who I think it is? Is that Chase Keith on the inside, rounding out our top 5. Talk about an impressive run from the back to the front. Let's see if he's able to become a factor in our final 8 laps to go. And Drew Junkman's going to take him around as we go green flag racing this time by. Drew Junkman's going to lead him on the front stretch. We're 2 by 2. Bo Stenzel's right behind him. Colton Zimmer's going to take that inside line. Chase Keith is going to win. Let's see if we can make it happen. We're 3 wide. Inside crossovers are being taken by the middle of that 3 wide line. Drew Junkman is going to lead him around. Colton Zimmer's right behind him. Bo Stenzel's going inside. James Murphy's following bumper to bumper to bumper. Is that going to knock Bo Stenzel out of that line, though? Is he going to go from 2nd to 4th here? Yellow flag might have just saved him. Who is that here? It looks like Landon Rogers. Let's go ahead and view back what happened. Alright. So I'd say everything probably starts to go wrong right about here. Looks like the 68 car ends up getting a little loose on the outside. That is... I forget who that is. Who was that on here? The 68 car, is that Dalton Bragg? Nope, it is Lane Riley. I apologize. Gets down into the 12 car of Landon Rogers. Causes them both to get real loose, get into the outside wall going down the front stretch, and that caused some more spinning by the 77, the 3, and a few more cars on the inside and the back there. So, just another quick look at what happened for everybody. We'll look at it in real time. Just an unfortunate incident for everybody around on that. Let's go ahead and get caught back up with our leaders. I don't think, since we didn't make a lap there, I don't think we will be seeing an appearance by the choose car on that. So we'll be waiting for them to go around, and we'll be going 1 to green, I believe, either this or next time by. I know they haven't allowed an amount of time for repairs and stuff like that after each caution. Up, he just reset at the 5 to go, so we'll be waiting for a couple laps. We're not going to wait all 5, but that's how long we reset it, just to make sure the proper amount of time is met. We don't want to go, 2 laps one time, 10 laps the other, all that. We try to keep everything very, very consistent. 6 laps to go of our 40-lap feature for the Bender Designs UMP Modifieds. Drew Junkman. I tell you what, in the very beginning of this race, James Murphy was the car to beat, start to finish, Heat 1, qualified P1. He was dominating this thing, but I think it was around lap 12, lap 13, after one of the cautions, Drew Junkman and Bo Stenzel, they found some speed on that outside line, and I mean, at one point, they never looked back. We had about a 20-lap run, and Bo and Drew were probably about 3 to 3.5 seconds ahead of James Murphy and Levi Wilkerson, who were in third and fourth trying to run them down. Since then, it looks like Drew and Bo have been more of the same, hanging out in that 1 and 2 area. James Murphy's kind of been sitting in that 3 through 5 spot. He's hanging out in fourth right now. But Colton Zimmerman's making a heck of a comeback. He started out toward the top, kind of got transferred to the back a little bit through a little bit of damage, kind of caught up in a wreck, I believe. But he's already made his way back to third. Chase Keith, you really want to talk about a potential hard charger candidate. I know he started and has hung out toward the back for most of the night. He's currently rounding out your top 5. Landon Rogers is being scored in 6th, but he's currently sitting in the pits, so that will be updated by Sim Racing Labs overlay as soon as we're done with the first lap. Lane Riley is going to be sitting in that 7th place car. Christopher Hibbs is going to be sitting in 8th. Levi Wilkerson will be in 9th place, but I believe he's in the pits. So nope, he is out. And number 77 by Samuel Stevenson will be your 10th place car. And they're sitting in 11th will be the 000 of Dylan Patterson. We are going 1 to green this time by. This thing still says 5 to go, so I don't know if race control is still waiting on somebody in the pits. We'll go ahead and take a view from Drew Junkman just in case we're going green. I might need to stop picking people because the past 2 people I have picked to win races have sat in second. I did the same thing yesterday with the 360 sprints and Matt Grimm. And today, I mean, I picked Bo Stenzel. He's going to lead him down with Drew Junkman on the front stretch this time by. But hopefully I didn't jinx him on getting second. We got 5 laps to go. Drew Junkman's going to lead him on the outside at turn 2, taking him down the backstretch. Bo Stenzel in second, Colton Zimmer in third, James Murphy in fourth. Chase Keith is going to round out your top 5 as we got a view of what we can see here from Drew Junkman from an aerial view. It's been very good, very clean, very consistent racing. I don't know if anybody's going to have anything for him, unfortunately. Bo Stenzel is trying to give him everything he can. He's 3/10 of a second behind him. Colton Zimmer's 3/10 of a second behind Bo. And James Murphy is about a 10th or 2 behind Colton. So we'll see if they can do anything. They're starting to spread out from the field already. 3 laps to go. There is some speed. He was 3/10 of a second, now he's 1/10 of a second. He's trying not to hit him, but he's trying to go around him. 2 laps to go. Bo Stenzel's trying to see what he can do. Drew Junkman, I tell you what, he's got his hands full. I know there's not mirrors enabled in here. There's not mirrors in these cars usually, but you can't tell me you're not sitting in Drew Junkman's seat and you don't hear Bo Stenzel on your inside. They touch. They're getting on the outside. Bo Stenzel, I think he's going to take the lead. Bo Stenzel is your leader, I believe, coming in. A white flag, 1 lap to go. Drew Junkman sitting in second place. I don't know if he's going to be able to run him down. Drew Junkman's going to take the inside line. He's throwing the slider. Bo Stenzel's on the outside. He's going to have to cross over to win it. Drew Junkman's into the wall. Bo Stenzel is your winner. Man, what a way to finish that race as these cars get destroyed going into turn 1. Fortunately, they're not going to look very good going into that graphic. Bo Stenzel is a lot of what we saw last year. Dominated the late models. Hell of a run to start the Bender Designs UMP Modifieds. He's going to put his car right where it used to be in that winner's podium as he gets pulled up for the victory picture. We are going to have interviews with our top 3 drivers, Bo Stenzel, Drew Junkman, and James Murphy. We'll go ahead and give everybody a second to We'll give everybody a second to get into Discord and get that going. Give us probably about 2 to 3 minutes, and we will start those interviews. We'll be right back. And yes, don't make fun of me. I just typed that. All right, everybody. We are here with our top three drivers: Bo Stenzel, Drew Junkman, and James Murphy. I tell you what, that was one of our better races we've had across the board, and we are going to start out with our third place finisher, James. James, I think you're a first time racer with us here at 3PG, other than the recruitment race originally to get in. I know this is our inaugural race for UMP Modifieds, but I mean, you had a heck of a run. I do gotta ask, what happened there? You were the most dominant car on the track until about 12 laps in the feature. Was it a setup thing or just lost speed, track change? I know third is no slouch by any means, but I thought you were gonna win it.
I was good in the grip. I just missed the setup a little bit in the main. I haven't done much setup work with these, so I had to do some more testing for next week. But I'm glad we was able to finish in third right there.
No, I mean you had a heck of a run. I think at one point I watched about six different cars kind of cycle and try to take that third place position from you, but I mean you were no slouch by any means. I just thought you were gonna win the whole thing the way you were starting. You got any sponsors or anybody you want to thank?
I'd love to thank y'all for putting all this on and talking dirt and everybody with the League of Outlaws.
Perfect, and we appreciate you coming out. Go ahead and get with me after this broadcast. I'll get you paid out for third. Congratulations, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And that's going to be James Murphy, everybody. We'll go ahead and move up to second place. Our second place finisher, Drew Junkman. Drew, I tell you what, like I said, James Murphy was kind of the favorite to win it. Um, but after I think it was lap 12 or 13 of that feature, you and Bo just, I don't know if you guys just actually started hitting the gas pedal. I don't know if you had maybe some nitrous in the car. Whatever it was, you guys just found a whole new gear and were gone. What were you guys doing? Was it a setup? Were you just ready? But you guys had
Well,
speed.
well, we never really got going till like lap 10 because we had so many cautions, and then I mean we got everything figured out, the line and everything, and we just kind of pulled away.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I thought you were like after I thought James was going to win it. I really thought you were going to be the one to do it, but you couldn't count Bo out, that's for sure. I mean, I know unfortunately he ended up getting you on the last couple of laps, but I expect you to be a competitor this whole entire season. You got anybody you want to thank or any sponsors you want to thank?
I just thank myself, Crystal and Racing, and then yeah, like me and Bo were on the same set. I just kind of threw it away at the end, but either way, it was really close.
Yeah, you did really well. I highly expect you to be in the winner's circle, and you and Bo be switching spots in this interview, interview time frames since we always do the winner last. I expect you two to reverse roles at some point this season, but congratulations on the second place tonight.
Yep, thank you.
That's gonna be Drew Junkman, everybody. And our first place winner, I feel like I've said our first place winner, Bo Stenzel, probably, what would you say, Bo, about 8 or 9 times now? You have won, I would say, almost half of the 3PG races you have raced. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good guys here. It's just I've I felt like I ran a lot of top split officials more, and I've raced a lot against faster guys. So being able to read the track and figure out where to go for qualifying is huge, especially at Eldora. Eldora, you can get just in a train and not be able to go anywhere.
Yeah, you definitely had the speed, that's for sure. And I think a lot of it's what you said. You're just running with a lot more top split guys. You know how to keep your car clean, keep it competitive. You didn't have to be in first at all, but you made it happen at the end just by being where you needed to be. It's got to make you feel good, especially going in the late models next week. You got any sponsors or anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, we just want to thank Drew for helping me because I went into Eldora with the UMPs not knowing a damn thing about the modifieds. But Speed Ranch for being on the car, Tanner Tomasi, Midwest Suspension, Joshua Koonsbeck for making this beautiful wrap, and you guys mostly for putting this race on.
Well, we appreciate the love on that one as well. And I guess the one comment I'll make, I believe Max mentioned we did the EOL challenge for this. We are, and in case no one's brought it up, we are bringing it back from last season where no one claimed it in the late models. I'll have to check back. I think it was like $60 or $70. We're bringing it right back tomorrow for Eldora. I gotta know, Bo, if you're starting first at Eldora, you taking that EOL?
Man, I'd almost be dumb not to if it's that high from last season.
We're
I
gonna
know a
keep
lot
it.
of guys.
We're gonna keep it rolling until someone gets it.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys didn't take it because we went to a lot of short tracks and it was very hard to pass. And I know that somebody's ought to take it out at Eldora. It depends on qualifying. That's the biggest thing.
I definitely understand that. So I'll go ahead and end it on that. That's going to be your winner, everybody, Bo Stenzel. Just want to go ahead and give a congratulations to you three again. Heck of a race.
Yep. Thank you for putting it on.
Alright, that's going to pretty much wrap everything up tonight. I just got them moved out of here. Quick little recap for everybody who just kind of joined in. Our top three for the Bender Designs UMP Modifieds is going to be Bo Stenzel, Drew Junkman, and James Murphy. Tomorrow night, we're going to have the third-party gaming pro late models. Those are going to start at 10 p.m. Eastern, just like this session is going to be ran just like it was as well. If anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, be sure to go ahead and put them here. Go ahead and like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I greatly appreciate all the love there as well. And we will see you guys next week.